welcome or welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. Today, we're going to do something a little different. Don't have any orders to pack, so I have this project. We need to go through patterns. We're going to work on that. Yeah, swapping out. I used to sell patterns that have been used and cut up. I used to sell them. People used to buy them. People stopped buying them. I have a huge box full of hundreds of them. I've gone through some of them already. I'm going through the last of them. But I really had a strong desire to sit and talk about Poshmark because it's just fascinating me right now. So, yeah, I'm going to get started on this. Okay. First thing up, I'm going to, just so that you know, I'm going to separate from modern patterns. I'm going to pull out, and I'm going to separate the tissue pieces, because I'm going to get the tissue pieces into a separate, just all separated, and put them in a lot, maybe as a craft lot, scrapbooking, that sort of thing. But any of the older patterns, the more vintage ones, those are going to go separately because I think I might still be able to sell a lot of cut ones that are vintage, that are all vintage. So we'll see how that goes. The rest of this, which is the pattern and instructions, these are going to go in the trash. I need to get a trash bag over here. So, Posh. Yeah, they went back on the new fee structure. I was kind of surprised by this. Not because I think they should or shouldn't. I just kind of figured they'd kind of hold out till after the holiday season. I just mostly figured this because, like, a lot of people, they're like, why did they do this during Q4? I think they did it during Q4 because they thought people would still continue to go and buy things. And maybe when Q1 hit, they'd continue doing it. They'd be used to paying the extra fees. Yeah, that was my theory. But they walked it back pretty quickly. I guess they lost a lot of money during that time, which is not too surprising. But of course it has people wondering why Mercari, who's they believe have lost sales. I don't know if theirs is as bad as Poshmark's was, but yeah, I'm not sure if it was as bad or not. But people wonder why, Mercari didn't go back on their fee structure. They did go back on the whole returns thing that they did, thankfully, because that was not going to go over well. That's cool. But, yeah. And different companies, of course, will have to react differently to things. As you know, I'm into BTS, which I've said multiple times. And right now, there's a lot going on. There's a different label called SM. They had a group called Rise. Now, one of the members, kind of got in trouble over something you wouldn't get in trouble for here. See, vintage pattern. We'll go put that to the side. But they got in trouble for smoking and kissing their girlfriend, which is hilarious to me, because we wouldn't give a crap about that here in the States. But because of it, he got in trouble, and they were bringing him back to the group. Like, he was supposed to start joining the group with events and stuff like that again. Well, people got mad, and they went to the building, corporation, whatever, and they put up, or they had these, what's called death wreaths sent. Now, oh my goodness, this is a weird thing that they do, but when they don't like somebody in a group, they'll send these death wreaths trying to get the company to like fire the idol that they don't like, the actor that they don't like, whatever it is, right? And it's just supposed to be representative of stuff. Well, after 2 days, SM was just like, okay, he's gone. So he was completely removed from the group. Because of that, they doubled down on Sugar from BTS over at Hybe headquarters. Now, Hybe reacts vastly differently than SM. SM caved automatically to people's protest, I guess. Oh, looky, this has got extra stuff in it. Yeah, they caved automatically. And Hybe is more international. They know that most of their sales and customers are overseas. So they know, no, we're not going to be caving to that because we will lose our main customer base. So Hybe does what Hybe does, and they just completely ignore it. People are still there protesting. They're just ignoring it. They'll keep ignoring it. Fans have shown up in support for Sugar. In case you're wondering what Sugar did, yes, he got a DUI. Now, I don't agree with drinking and driving, but he wasn't driving a car. They claimed he was driving a scooter. I've looked at his scooter, and it goes like 15 miles an hour, and it's not, it's like a kickboard, it's a thing that you stand on, and it's got a little handlebars, and it's like this wide, Well, this one had like a seat that came up so you could sit on it. Tiniest little thing under the sun. And he got caught driving that while being a bit intoxicated. Should you probably drive that when you're intoxicated? Well, I'd say probably not. Quite frankly, if somebody ran into me while driving one of those while drunk, they'd probably get punched. But I don't think it would kill me or anything if they hit me. It would hurt. It would make me mad. But, yeah. So, but like I said, over in Korea, they're just, yeah, totally like upset that this guy had a girlfriend previously and that he smoked a cigarette, which is hysterical because I guess South Korea's got a really large population of people that smoke. So I'm just kind of like, okay, well, that's interesting. But they don't want their celebrities to smoke. Okay, whatever. You do you. But here's the thing. Here's the main point of this. That was just background information. I might have to figure out something to do with these. Because it's piling up quicker than I thought. And I've got huge amounts. I'm talking too much rather than actually getting work done. Yeah, but SM caved automatically to people's demands, which has damaged their, I don't know what you'd call it, their relationship with international customers, international viewers and watchers. They are not happy about that. But they caved quickly because their market is mostly the Korean market. So they caved very quickly. Whereas Hybe, their market is all international. I think there's more in there. Yep, I see it. Yeah. And they knew that, you know, they couldn't cave like that. I don't think they want to cave like that. I mean, BTS is a cash cow. Like, they make them money. When Hybe first formed and Big Hit joined under Hybe, the vast majority of their revenue came from BTS. They're not getting rid of them anytime soon. But Hybe has always been that way. When people started protesting things and demanding things, they've literally just ignored it. Ignore it till it goes away. And yeah, it's what works for them. But this, and again, I did want to talk about Posh versus Mercari, and that's what I'm saying, you know. Posh is SM, and Hybe is Mercari. Mercari is Hybe, because of, you know, who their customer base is. Posh saw a drop in sales and automatically just jumped ship with that plan and headed back in original direction. And, you know, different customer bases probably. Mercari has tons of, like, collectibles and stuff like that. Toy collectors, those sorts of things. If they can find the item they like or want for a decent enough price, and, you know, Mercari is the only place they can get it, or if they can get it cheaper on Mercari, even though they're paying fees, they're going to do it. Or if their favorite seller is on there, they know this seller ships well, packages well, they, you know, they don't mark an item as in great condition, you know, just because it's new in box or whatever. The way people who don't always sell those sorts of things think, you know. Oh, it's new in box, it's brand new. And then the collector will get the box and it's all damaged. No. You don't give collectors damaged boxes, right? So, yeah. And most, you know, if they're willing to pay that amount to get what they want and to know that they're getting what they want. And even I will have people on Mercari buying from me, even though sometimes I know they can go over to eBay and purchase it cheaper. Some people don't like eBay. Some people really hate eBay. And they'll pay more on Mercari because they don't like eBay. But, again, you know, it's just been fascinating to me to see the vast difference. Mercari sticks with it. Mercari may be able to do so much easier. We'll grab some more patterns. Okay. But Mercari may be able to do so easier because Mercari is a public company, whereas Poshmark is a private company. Now, Posh did go public for a few years, and they went back to being private here recently. And, you know, I mean, if you're public, technically you've got investors, if you want to call stock buyers that. But you can probably kind of hold out with a drop in sales while you try to build up the customer base that you want. And, you know, that can work for them. But being a private company, they probably don't have the resources to hold out and get people used to paying those fees. I mean, it's not like we're not, you know, it's not like we go to the checkout and we don't automatically have other fees added to our stuff anyways. We have taxes and stuff like that. So we are technically used to, this is a different type of pattern. We are technically used to, you know, paying extra more than the actual price of the item at the checkout. And again, like I said, I think they had done Q4 because they thought people would continue buying because it's Q4 and people are, you know, buying gifts and that sort of thing. And yeah, I think they just thought they could go Q4 and maybe see if they could keep it going, like, you know, after Q4. And it just did not go that way for them. So, yeah. But that's just my theory. I swear it's somewhere in here. Oh. Another. That's not. Half. Yeah. That one's pointless. We don't need. And so yeah, that was a pretty interesting move that they made for sure. And people were mad. I was watching somebody that was being exceptionally snarky about them changing their fee structure back, and I'm like, I told you so, I told you so. And I was just like, okay, well, you know, nothing wrong with being right. I mean, I wouldn't know, I rarely am, but it was very funny watching this person because their experience with what people were saying was vastly different. She's like, influencers really, you know, loved the change. And I'm like, that was not my experience. Most people I watched just like absolutely hated it. They're like, I'm gonna lose sales, which they did. So I'm not sure who they were watching, but it wasn't the same people I was watching for sure. So that was just interesting. But the people who did like the new fees, because yeah, sellers do like paying less. They're like, oh, it's the influencer's fault. We're complaining about it. No. I've seen numbers out there. I don't know which ones are correct. But supposedly Mercari got a massive, not Mercari, Poshmark got a massive drop in sales. And like I said, they are a, you know, they're a private company, so they probably can't really do, you know, they can't really hold out the way I was saying before. But, I think this is, yeah. You know, whereas, because Mercari is public, they probably can hold out a little bit. Yes, and investors want to, stockholders want to see, you know, an increase in the revenue and stuff like that. But, you know, people who have it will stick around and stuff like that, so I don't necessarily see them, you know, not being able to. Now, if Posh had, you know, a reserve of money that they could go on for an extended period of time, they might have been willing to try this out for a little longer, you know, see if their theory panned out. Because it seems like something that almost could have, at least in my opinion. Again, everybody's views and opinions are different, of course. But my theory, you know, see how it would work. And of course, most of the people that have something against it, they're like, you know, buyers don't pay fees, and that's not true. And they're like, well, they don't pay fees for certain types of things, and that's not true. So it's like, it's just, it's hard to say what direction society will go. I think the next few years, after, a couple presidential elections and, getting past that initial decade after COVID, is where we're going to see things kind of fall back into a certain sort of rhythm. But until then, it's going to be really a bit more difficult. We're going to have to be a little bit more vigilant and working a little bit harder and accepting perhaps lower sales because, maybe what we're selling isn't bought by a lot of people or is suddenly no longer needed. Grab more patterns. Okay. Yeah, but, and I know, and it's going to be so much more difficult for, like, resellers and stuff, because these companies are going to be changing up things like fee structure. That's going to affect us as sellers. And, yeah, I think it's weird, though, because generally we think of, like eBay, whatever, focusing more on the customers than the sellers. We tend to think of them not doing much for sellers or providing any sort of seller protection, And oddly enough, the thing that they're changing would be fees, which would reduce, reduce the amount of stuff we have to sell to make the same amount of money because we're no longer paying fees. That seems very much to be more in the seller realm. So I'm wondering if, I know somebody had said, I think it was Commonwealth Kevin, I think he had said that the number of sellers is actually decreasing. And the fact that companies are looking to, get fees from the buyers instead of the sellers can kind of suggest that maybe he's right about that. I don't really know. Posh, though. Posh's fee structure, though, there's times, I'd say probably with the most common price range, they would actually have been getting more in fees than getting more in fees than they normally would have. So probably another reason they were willing to try that. But yeah. What does this have? It's hidden. They hid them. I don't want you. Okay, no more. Uh-oh, more in here, though. Yeah. So, yeah, there was a thought there. Oh, what was that thought? What was I talking about? Posh. Oh, when they was probably trying that fee structure in hopes of being able to get more money. Additionally, I think delivery services, DoorDash, and those sorts of things, which have very much led to the land of tips and people making their money off tips and stuff rather than the company actually paying for it, which is hysterical because the company has lower overhead because people are using their cars, they're using all of their own stuff. I don't think this one has instructions. Nope, that didn't have instructions. But yeah, so just funny to me. Vintage. So, yeah. This looks like it's, maybe it didn't have, I think this accidentally got in there. We will toss this one into my uncut, because that one is not cut. Don't know why or how it got into the cut patterns, but oh well. We'll cut out the noise this makes. If you can hear the noise, because sometimes you can't. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure I have anything else much to say. I find, and I'm sure my camera's cut off and come back on, and when it does that, it loses just a couple seconds, which is funny. But yeah, I'll probably leave it here. That's just my thoughts on the change. The going back on the fee structure thing is just interesting to see. I think the psychology behind it's crazy. I think seeing this happen very much helps you to understand the importance of knowing what type of business you have, the customer base you have, and what's going to work for them. So, you know, check out these things, pay attention to them, study them, research them, you know. Anyways, that'll be it for now. Please be sure and do all the things, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you feel like it, go ahead and hit the thumbs down. You're just not going to bother me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.